well.
And it's all via car. Damien's made it pretty clear that he puts her in the car and away they go. So it's not like they've dropped her, aeroplane, then off, spends a couple of days and then comes back. He does the hard yards by a road. So to me, that gives me a good push that she most probably hasn't seen the place. But as Corey said, it hasn't bothered her going forward. And the race shape, I think, is the key here. There's only 7 runners. There's Genuine Speed with Zinfandel Trace, Crutching Tommy, who might be a little bit suspect late, Weston Booney, as we touched on, going forward. So even Mapunga Surprise is going to go forward. So they might string out enough for her just to get it back to follow and pick them off one by one and show what she's been showing over the past 6 to 8 weeks as a bright, star of the future.
Crunching Tommy's well and truly in the market as one of the local hopes. When I looked at him, Nath, he seems to be a greyhound who would like to run around other greyhounds. Could that be something that could be harmful for him over 700 metres, covering more ground like that?
I don't think he's a bona fide star yet. He's only having to start 15 tonight, so that's most probably another knock in my eyes. These stayers coming up, they don't have the moles in their legs of the pass marks that we've seen and the double denims of the previous heat that have had that grounding. And I think the best stayers usually have a decent grounding of moles in their legs, so to speak. So I think that's a negative against him. Even though he wants to go around, he's most probably better suited close to the fence. Like, he's won 5 races and 4 of them have come from box 1 or 2. So comes up with box 2 tonight, vacant box 1. He's just got to show speed and get to where he needs to get to and get a clear, unimpeded run. Young dogs that are a suspect over the distance, they don't need to stop and start. They don't need interference. They just need to get rolling at one pace and continue to roll. And Jake Laverso's kennel's on fire, and Crutching Tommy's last few runs have been first class. So if he can, hold that speed battle and get himself into a striking position, he can certainly run a good race, but I do think he's short in the market.
All right, I can see Corey Smith with Damien Smith, so plenty to learn here. Over to you, Smithy.
Yeah, I'm with Damien Smith with a pillar. Damien, I got the feeling that Wentworth Park was a bit of a throw at the stumps that came off really, really nicely and then heads to the Gardens, and she's absolutely flying.
Yeah, it didn't really go to plan in the Gardens, but, I mean, that's what happens when she hasn't had a look again tonight, so you take the risk and, yeah, let's see what happens.
We were just discussing that on Sky Racing. Is she the sort of dog that she's okay with just going in blind and then you expect improvement out of her?
Yeah, she's okay, but she's obviously better than second look by far. But, it depends how they pull up. You get time between these races to do it, so which this week we didn't. So, yeah, it's a little bit closer to home than the other one.
Well, let's put it in perspective. How far is it to come over here to compete at Sandown Park?
8 hours on the road, pretty well in the car. You do it a bit quicker, but by the time you stop on that, it's 8 hours, yeah.
And travels beautifully, or?
Yeah, she travels good. We come in the ute again, so it was just me and her tonight, so, yeah.
And then back straight away, or do you stay somewhere along the way?
Yeah, I'll stay halfway, hopefully. We'll see how far I get. I'll go home, yeah.
All right, well, good luck tonight, Apilla. She's an intriguing runner. She's been in absolutely ripping form, boys. And I can't wait to see this one because there's intriguing runners throughout. And Apilla, she's a star.
Really keen to see the way she handles her business here at Smithy. And there is the almighty Sandown Cup. And Rooney, she is very handy, as we know. And I did see Damien holding sort of under her neck, sort of under her muzzle. I have seen the Thompsons do that a bit. Is there a purpose as to why people do that?
Oh, they're obviously really keen to go, and they just don't want them to pull on the lead and somewhat, cut the circulation off to their airways. They want to keep their head up and just try to keep them settled. You see some old timers that might have the nose strap over the top and the muzzle off. It's just greyhounds that really want to pull. You just don't want them to waste any nervous energy going to the boxes. So he was just trying to hold her chin up and just let her relax next to him. But she obviously knows it's go time. She obviously travels in the back of the ute with Damien over, and she's nice and relaxed, and she's been able to handle that. But as soon as she gets here and gets that stir up and gets the race rug on, she knows it's business. And no surprise to see that she hasn't trialled. We were assuming that, and like I said, it hasn't been a worry with her Sydney campaigns, the backup, the travel. So like Damien said, 8 hours was most probably closer than the 12 to 14 hours to go to the Garden. So she can handle the travel, she can handle the big lights, and she can handle the track and distance. First look here, she gets the right race shape, and she's got a bit of a drift in the market, but I still think she's the one they have to beat.
All right, Sky Racing 1 are about to join us, and Apilla obviously the favourite at $2.60, and outside of her, Crunching Tommy's been a firmer, now into $3.30, Mapunga Surprise $5.50, Weston Booney, same quote, and Zinfandel Trace price, $8.50. Nathan Rooney, the boxes for Heat 2, the Sandown Cup. Apilla is sort of the new flavour of the month when it comes to stayers. Does she win this?
Yeah, I think she does. 8, 4, 2 and 6 my numbers. I went with Apilla. You can't knock her form. The Wentworth Park Association Cup win was first class, and the race at the Gardens was very good. It had to be seen to be believed where she come from. She can handle the travel. She can handle first look at the track. She got to contend with that tonight, but I think the race shape suits her. She might settle in the back half and then pick them off one by one and just be that bona fide group stayer that we expect her to be at the closing end of this race. 8 on top of Pillar for me. 4 for second, West on Booney, the Western Australian. He's been consistent over the staying ranks in WA. He comes here for the first time. No doubt had a look at the track and he'll race well. 2 Crunching Tommy in for third, an up-and-comer, only having start number 15 here tonight, but already amassed 4 wins with another 7 minor placing. So a greyhound that's going well. He just needs to step up to the 700 and then handle some more seasoned campaigners. 6 Zinfandel Trace in for 4 for greyhound. I expect to show a lot of speed and get tied in the run to the line. She's a genuine free-for-aller over the 530-metre trip in Adelaide. She's had a go at the 700 and got tired late. She might be better here, but I think she'll be the pace factor of the race. 8, 4, 2 and 6 my numbers. Heat number 2 of the Sandown Cup.
Pass mark and double denim. I'll get that right. First to progress in Heat 1. 2 more to come here. Let's find out who they are with Dan Hibbert.
Move in for race number 4, the second heat of the Sportsbet Sandown Cup. Thanks, Patch. They're moving in. Another open affair. 5 of the 7 runners under double figures, and as I speak, the 6 Zinfandel Trace out to $10 on the dot. Favourite will be the pink Apilla at $3, but it's on the drift. It's been odds on out to $3, and the green light turned on for heat number 2. They're ready. And away, beginning well on the inside, Crutching Tommy. Out deep was Dundee Dixie. Trying to push through was West on Booney and also Mapunga Surprise. Got a nice run through. Zinfandel Trace was next from Henry Intention. And going back to second last, Dundee Dixie. And Apilla is last and about 12 off the lead. To the back, Crutching Tommy in front. A length and a half the margin over West on Booney. 3 lengths away then to Zinfandel Trace. On its back then was Mapunga Surprise. Well back, Henry Intention. Dundee Dixie and Apilla is still last. Crutching Tommy left the rail. West on Booney got the run. Coming home, Zinfandel Trace. They bump right up front here. It's all changed and Mapunga Surprise got through to win it. Mapunga Surprise has beaten Henry Intention and Zinfandel Trace has run third. West on Booney fourth and Apilla fifth. Then Dundee Dixie and last of all was Crutching Tommy in a race that completely changed when they straightened up. Time is 41:96.
Gee whiz, the top 3 chances taken off the track, turning for home, and Jeffrey Britton at it again. Mapunga Surprise defeats Henry Intention, Nath.
Yeah, that race changed shape approaching home where Zinfandel Trace just got a little bit lost and wobbled around the home corner and took West on Booney and Crunching Tommy out of the race. And fair to say, Crunching Tommy was most probably getting a little bit tired and seeing out the trip might have been a bit of a problem into the run to the line. He didn't need that bump straightening for home. West on Booney looked the winner and so did Zinfandel Trace, who just got a little bit lost at the 500-metre boxes, and Jeffrey Britton was once there to clean up the mess. And Mapunga Surprise was another winner for Jeff, and another one that really races well here at Sandown. We didn't really touch on this greyhound pre-race, Jace, but it's had 4 goes here before tonight for 2 wins and a placing over the 7:15 at Sandown. Another genuine stayer that's had a handful of 600s and 680s over the past month in preparation for tonight, and she was at the right place at the right time to take advantage of a little bit of luck that occurred. And Jeff Britton makes another Sandown Cup with another runner here with Mapunga Surprise.
That he does, and let's get on track with Corey Smith and Craig Salkin, who looks like he's had a hairy. He's looking really schmick.
About the lack of mullet on Craig at the moment, but it must have worked tonight because right place, right time with a little bit of a scrimmage on the home turn, but it's good to see her make her way into a Group 1.
Yeah, no, she's very lucky there, but sometimes you've got to get the luck sometimes, and yeah, she definitely got it tonight.
And she's a dog that's probably had her fair share of bad luck. She won a Hume Cup heat, pulled up sore. We didn't see her for 5 months. Handful of 600-metre racing, back over the 700 for the first time tonight. What were the confidence levels like? Was it high confidence, or you just wanted to see her get around?
Really, we just wanted to see her get around tonight. You know, as you say, she had that time off after the Hume Cup. She had to have an operation on Achilles, so that took a long time to get back from. And then, yeah, as you say, you know, she's been 600s and then finally stepped up to 700s. So, yeah, it's been a lot of hard work to get her back to here, but happy to see her go around well tonight.
I don't know whether it was last year or another time, but you and I, it was one of her first starts, and I said, oh, she looks like she's pretty special, mate. She was bombing the start and she was getting home really nicely. I think from day one, you've always had an opinion of her.
Yeah, she's always been very handy. She's always shown it when she was younger, when we was trialling her and stuff, that she'd want further. How far she'd get, we didn't know, but she always looked like she'd be 600. And then, you know, she just progressed quite nicely, so, yeah, it's gone well.
Well, she's a ripper and she's into a Sandown Cup. Go and give her a drink and get the paparazzi doing their thing. But boys, obviously a little bit of luck, but sometimes you need that in greyhound racing.
Indeed to do, and Zinfandel Trace took her mind off the job and took 2 others out of the race, and that opened up the opportunity for Mapunga Surprise to sneak through and defeat Henry Intention. And she's been a very good operator, has Mapunga Surprise, Nath, for a period of time. I'm trying to get up the article that I wrote the other day, and now I've got that. She is the 8th fastest greyhound ever to break her maiden status here at Sandown Park. So sometimes they can go quick and not go on with it. She has been one who has done so, and particularly over the longer journey.
Yeah, another one for Barry Smith and Adam Mapunga, and that Barcia Bale litter has certainly thrown a lot of very fast animals, and no surprise to see her make her way through to a Group 1 feature next week. But she was there to take the opportunity that presented, and she took it and ran away. Henry Intention, runner-up. Just an honest greyhound. Todd O'Neill knows how to make a big race final. Don't know the O'Neills. They always put their hat in the ring with these Intention dogs, and they've got another one into a big final with Henry Intention. He was just able to just grind away on the fence, and he runs a genuine 700, and he was able to close off and get second in the run to the line away from Zinfandel Trace, who, as you mentioned, just took her mind off the job at the 500.